Hey, this is Paul Sponcia, the CEO of the IT company. As many videos as I've done, I guess everybody knows that, and I don't need to keep telling people who I am. But I'm here with my friend Karen Clark, who has a really cool background and career. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about what she has done and what she is doing now, and then we'll talk about why we're together.
Thanks, Paul. Hi, everyone. My name is Karen Clark. I'm the director of Somerset's Technology Advisory Services. My background is really largely in large healthcare operations, where I was a CIO for over 20 years. And I thought by talking to Paul this morning, we might be able to give some folks some tips now that they have had to move some of their workforce home.
So are there, I think one of the challenges, you sat in on a lunch and learn that we did with a cyber warfare expert, and you and I joked that, which I said this to him, and he goes, well, don't think that the federal government has unlimited funds, because there's a lot of stuff that we should be doing that they may not be doing. I mean, there's budgets, but I think we all assume that, and I'm sure that from a federal government perspective, the military is super, super strong and spent a lot of money to protect themselves. We don't have that bandwidth, capacity, capability. So what are maybe some inexpensive ways that businesses could just sort of take the first step in beefing up the security for at-home workers?
Yeah, I mean, this is a question we get a lot because people understand the risk, but as to your point, they don't have unlimited funds to do it. So, I mean, I've got a list here of some things. I would say the number one thing you can do is enable two-factor authentication. There are still many companies here who today that don't have that turned on. There are lots of either free or very low cost apps. I mean, I happen to use Duo. It ranges from $3 to $6 per user per month. Google Authenticator's free. LastPass has a free version. Yeah. Authy is, I think, $4 a month. So they're very inexpensive. They're easy to implement, and it increases your security by a factor of 10, if not more. The other thing I would look at is if you have any applications, typically most email platforms support two-factor authentication. If you're using Office 365 or G Suite or whatever email platform you're using, if that's not turned on, turn it on and require it. Yeah. If you have any other applications that support two-factor authentication, especially if your company is using some cloud-based apps and you've thought, well, it's a hassle, it's an extra step. It is an extra step, but it absolutely increases your security at zero cost or very low cost. Yeah. The other thing I would say is if you have a virtual desktop environment at your office, meaning people can connect in, but they are directed to a desktop instance on a server that really controls what they can get to and what they can do, that really is the best thing to do. Because even then, if I'm sitting at home with my personal laptop, with the Barbie Bedazzler screensaver, the only thing I can get to is a virtual desktop on your system where you have complete control of what I can get access to. Yeah. So if you have that in place already, be sure to leverage it for your remote workforce. Yeah.
Little third-party story. Just yesterday, I got an email from a customer, and I was like, I don't know why they would, why that person would send me an email, and B, it looks fishy about it. And I investigated it, and they had been compromised. And I asked our team, I was like, hey, do they not have, multi-factor authentication turned on? They're like, nope. And I said, is there a reason why? They're like, they declined it. They thought it was too much of a hassle. Mm-hmm. And we say a lot, like, security is super inconvenient. We use HubSpot for our CRM, and I went into HubSpot this morning on my computer, and it was that time when it needed me to re-authenticate and go through the the two-factor, and I'm like, I gotta go pull my phone out and look it up. But I'm like, it's inconvenient, but you know what? The chances of somebody compromising that are a lot lower because of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you think that's inconvenient, just think how inconvenient it is when one of your employees transfers $40,000 out of your bank account because they got hacked with a business email compromise. And I think people to understand is these guys, when I said they hack people, it's very easy to grab the IT company's logo. Yeah. It's very easy to find out who Paul Sponcia is. It's very easy to find out about this thing, which I guess is going to end up on Facebook. Yeah. So, that's the kind of hacking we're talking about is I get an email from Paul with the IT company's logo saying, Hey, Karen, really enjoyed the Facebook interview today.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a little more information so we can push this out to our audience? It looks legit. It's based on a legit thing that really happened, and these guys are really clever at leveraging that kind of thing. And your employees are busy. They're working at home. They're distracted. The dog is barking. The kids need lunch. They're just trying to get things done, and they tend to skim email and just click to move through it. And that's the sweet spot for these guys where they get you.